What is the creepiest unexplained experience you ever had? Me and some of my friends went to explore an abandoned mall, and in the distance we could faintly hear the sound of children laughing and playing. It was spooky as hell, like a corny horror movie. Found the source of the sound. It was coming from a speaker in the kids' playground in the mall. Apparently it had been left on, probably for years. But that was barely any less spooky. The fact that they ran a loop of the sounds of children playing and that it was still running, that's still creepy. When I was 9, I woke up in the middle of the night positive that my Aunt Hope had died. The feeling was so real that it scared the daylights out of me and I ran to my parents' room crying. I told them what happened, and they kept saying it's just a bad dream, everything's okay, Aunt Hope is fine, but I couldn't calm down. After some 10 to 15 minutes of this, the phone rang. My dad got up and went to answer it. It was my uncle calling to tell us Hope had just died. It was like 2 a.m., I took my clothes off and went to sleep. A minute later something hit me at my head. It was one of my socks. When I take them off I throw them in a corner of my room, so someone threw it back at me. But there was no one in my room, was alone 100%. May not sound so scary, but it was for me. No, there were no fans in the room. No wardrobes or similar around my bed. One night I woke up to seeing my ex crouching in the closet. The closet was open and in full view of the bed. Of course I asked him what the hell he was doing in the closet. He just kept smiling like crazy and talking really sweetly to me, saying it was fun and I should come in too. I kept telling him no, he needed to just come back to bed. And then, after a few minutes, my ex walked into the bedroom from the bathroom, asking who I was taking to. Mr. Closet X disappeared and I never saw him again, but a lot of other weird crap happened in that house. We buy packs of timber from overseas. While removing some of the timber I found a mosquito that had been squashed in between pieces. A Vietnamese bloke who was Buddhist picks it up, breathes on it for a little while and the damn thing came back to life. Trippiest thing I've ever seen. All I know is that timber sat on a ship for 6 months before getting to Australia. I was walking home with my siblings on a really windy day. An old guy pulled up next to us in his car and asked us if we wanted a ride. We said no and he insisted. We still said no, keeping stranger danger in mind. He just kept trying. It's not nice out though, right? I have pop in the back. Do you want some? When we said no the last time, he sped away. Potential kidnapper? It wouldn't have seemed too odd, but then President G.W. Bush was in town at the time, so all of the cops were busy there. When I was a kid, I had lots and lots of plushies. One of them was a talking Ernie, from Sesame Street, that wasn't functioning properly. You had to absolutely bang it on a table for it to say, "I feel great." Our old house in my home country was housed with spirits, but not bad ones, or at least that's what my parents said. LMAO. I never witnessed or felt anything until this one time. When I was 8, I overheard my parents saying something along the lines that my Ernie plushie spoke every time they talked about my grandma. I got irrationally scared, which made my parents hide Ernie in a huge box along with my other unused plushies. One time when I was playing hide and seek, I was hiding with my childhood friend, Jay, in our spare room where the box of plushies was. While we were hiding, I figured might as well tell him the story about the haunted Ernie and my just recently passed away grandma. In the middle of the story, we heard Ernie say, "I feel great," in the box on top of the shelf. There's no way that was moved. And even if it was somehow moved by gravity, you need to bang Ernie on the table to make it talk. We screamed and ran outside. This one has stuck with me for almost 20 years, was on a walk in the early evening, still daylight out, a teenage kid maybe 16 to 17 was walking in our direction. As he got close he asked, "Hey, can I ask you guys a question?" Thinking it was something innocent like directions, I said sure. He starts off kind of rambling, asking what we would do if we got in a fight with someone, and then ends the question with, "And then the other guy picks up a sword and cuts off his ear?" At this point I start to realize the kid is sweaty and obviously agitated, so I just hurriedly say, "I don't know man, call the cops," and walk as quickly away as I could. I'm still not sure if he was asking for help, or being threatening, or if he was mentally unstable. After all this time I kinda feel bad for walking away, but the way he approached it was off. When I was in 6th grade, me and a friend came back to school from a race. We went to our class and found it locked with all chairs stacked. We were confused and checked both the gym and outside, no sign of our class. We checked our classroom again just to make sure, nothing. We went to the office and asked where our class was, and they just kinda looked at us like we had 3 heads and told us they were in the classroom. We told them no, but they told us to check again. There was my class, sitting in chairs listening to the teacher lecture them. I don't know what happened there, but it was pretty fucking scary.